This morning, Mr. Hughes, how are you?
I'm all right. I'm okay. You?
Yeah, I'm just concerned. I'm trying to wonder or figure out what's going on with the PNP.
Mm-hmm.
It seems to be that chaos follows them, or that's what they're promoting. When I think about the crime rate, for example, the JLP wanted to introduce NIDS, and I believe that was fully implemented in the way they wanted it, meaning it was mandatory that everybody had it.
Mm-hmm.
The crime rate would have been probably over 50% low. That's my belief, because I'm wondering if they're trying to hide something. Because if everybody had it, if a crime is committed, the police will be able to go to that scene, do the fingerprint, and identify who was at the crime scene based on the NIDS.
Mm-hmm.
So it would be able to clear up new crime as well as old crime that was committed.
Mm-hmm.
So, but they were against that. Mm-hmm. And now this fuss with the school bus system, it seems to be anything that they do, and they offer nothing new. Mm-hmm. Anything they oppose is chaos. What they're offering is chaos.
But the PNP is not without people who are sensible. Yes, there are some sensible people in the PNP, bright people. So you have to ask yourself, what has gone wrong? Yeah, I ask myself that question. What has gone wrong with it, with its leadership? Yeah, because I think the party is now Mark Golding's, Peter Bunting's, and Dayton Campbell's party. Yes?
Yes,
and
it is.
Is it that those three who really determine the policy direction and initiatives of the party, is it that they've lost it? Is it that they've become tone deaf? Is it that they don't care? What is it? They're not listening to the changes in the society. The country is changing. They have in Andrew Holness and his administration a government that has been very focused on accomplishing things, achieving things. They don't pick up what we pick up, that Jamaicans don't have any loyalty to any party or person anymore. Jamaicans have become very transactional. They're not picking that up. So when you talk about what Michael did for them 20, 30 years ago, there are fewer and fewer of those Jamaicans. The Jamaican of today is asking, what have you done for me lately? Yeah, what have you done for me lately? Yeah, and I don't know what is taking place in the halls of the PNP in terms of reading the political dynamics in the country today, because it is just unfathomable that the school bus, the rural school bus program, you could oppose that given the experiences of the Jamaican people, yeah, for the last 60 odd years with public transport in both urban and rural Jamaica. For rural Jamaica, it has been particularly bad, because at least you have in urban Jamaica the JUTC, and before JUTC you had JOS. Yeah? But for the people in rural Jamaica, they had absolutely nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah? And how could you oppose that? Me not understand it. That is something you hug up, you give credit where credit due, and then you say, I am going to make it better. That is smart politics.
I'm of the conclusion, Mr. Hughes, that if the JLP found the cure for cancer, the PNP will be against it.
Hold on, fellow, we're up on the break.
Shortly.
Yeah.
I had a friend living in Japan, and she living in this apartment. She ran out of water, those 5-gallon water jugs. So she called downstairs, and they told her to leave the money and the water outside, the empty bottle, so they can replace it. Uh-huh. And she left it outside of the apartment. And when she came home from work, it was replaced and the change left there the entire day. I wish that was a Jamaica could have living.
And where in
Nobody
Japan?
took the change.
Where in Japan is she
And-
living?
I'm not sure.
Okay. But she left her $5 or 5 yen.
And the 5-gallon jug of those replacements. And she came back and she saw the change and the refill jug outside of the apartment.
Yes. Sir, let me tell you, in some societies, and in particular Japan, yes, they put a lot of, it's almost second, it's a culture, yeah, where honesty, honor are revered, yeah, where it is accepted in such a way that it becomes second nature to you, yeah. So in Japan, there are certain practices that we have lost. I remember when I used to take the JLS bus going to primary school, if you went into the bus and you see a woman come on the bus after you just get up as a boy because you were taught not to be seated when there's a woman or a pregnant woman, even more so, in the bus.
Yeah.
In Japan, these things are second nature. So you leave your money for your whether it is your water or your newspaper or whatever, and nobody's going to take it. Nobody's going to take it. Yeah, we don't have that culture here, unfortunately. We have different cultural habits. Yeah, but in that society, you ever see the Japanese? They go into a place, a public space, and they use it, and they clean up after. Now somebody else come clean up, they clean up.
They clean up. Yeah.
Yes. Oh God, it's a public space. You name and you left the packet, you dash it down the same way, and you expect somebody to come clean it up after you. Not in Japan.
Wow.
Yes.
All right. We can hope for a better Jamaica. Have a good one.
Thank you, sir. Same to you. Yeah. It's 18 minutes going up to noon. Billboard. All right. We do. Shanice?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Mr. Hughes, I heard you just ask what went wrong with the PNP. Let me tell you what I observed. They have used a strategy for decades. Attack, right? Then there was only traditional media, right? We Jamaicans didn't have much of a say. Occasionally, someone may write an article to the newspaper, or we may call in a calling program, and if, they don't like you, they cut you off, right? I heard someone say social media is PNP's biggest enemy because when they attack, there are millions of persons who now have a voice, and those voices are listened to, right? So that's one of their major problems. For example, when they spread rumor, they could say Mr. Siaga said this or that said that, or the PM said that, and those things were just absorbed, but that's not happening anymore. You understand?
I think you have a point. You have definitely a point. Yeah. The media has been democratized, to a large extent. And there was a time when the PNP virtually controlled the traditional media outlets in the country. Yeah.
Well, I'm happy you said it.
Not so anymore. Yes, you're quite right. Yeah. And some of them won't agree with me, but I've been here long enough. Yeah. That is not to say that all is well with how social media operate,
No.
I'm not saying that. But what it has done it has leveled the playing field
Yes.
where the contest of ideas is concerned. Yeah, it has certainly leveled that playing
So
field.
can you imagine, Mr. Hughes, back then, before social media, the PNP comment, oh, it's all buses that will, harm our children, or whatever the rhetorical, whatever they are saying. And there's no one to come back to or say, no, that's not the case. Our voices wouldn't be heard. Can you imagine that? And they're not waking up and realizing that, look here, they have to come with a different strategy, right? Because most young people coming up are educated, we read, we research. The moment they come with something, we Google. We're going to Google, we're going to watch YouTube videos, and we're going to form our own views and opinions.
Yes.
You understand?
Yes.
So that is what's happening. And I've been looking at it for a while. I look at the past, run with this white man time, no black scandal, but all those things. And now, it's like they just want to attack. So,
and may I add as well that one, access to information is now opened to a lot more people. You just named Google. We can Google it in a flash. Yeah. And with that, we have a population that is getting not fast enough, but definitely taking place, more educated. Yeah. Those who make it beyond the post-secondary level education, are able to know how to get information. Yeah. But thirdly, there is something else that has taken place over the last 10 years that we need to factor in. Yeah. And they don't like when I say this, but it is a provable fact that this administration has been able to rack up, some accomplishments that no previous administration has been able to do.
That is it.
And as a result, here we are into an election campaign, full-fledged election campaign, and the opposition seeking government cannot credibly attack the government on crime management, security, and safety. Yeah? An opposition that in all previous elections, all oppositions, not only PNP but JLP, could bank on crime out of control, could bank on unemployment rampant. Yes? People can't get work. Yeah? Two potent weapons that were available to previous parties in opposition.
That is true.
No longer available. And yes.
You see, Cliff, remember, I watched the space and I've seen their own PNP supporters, Jamaicans at large, JLP supporters, has been asking for the past 2 years, what are your plans? I mean, the JLP administration have been tested and proven and tried over and over again to be a better party to manage the country. Now, what are your plans? Persons have been asking. And what we got was, we don't want to expose our plans because the government... No, that is disrespect.
Of the highest order.
I can't tell you how disrespected. And I have to talk to a few supporters and say, you heard that? You really hear that? And I'm wondering, who are these people that are saying PNP? I got a theory, but I won't say it today. I'll call in another time and tell you what I learned.
All right, well.
Right?
Yes.
But you now that you don't have a plan, you're attacking the government's plans. And I don't know how they think that will work for them.
Well,
Because it's obviously not working, Cliff. Right? Because I've heard, I'm in the street, I'm on the road, I'm on the ground. And I've heard so many persons for this bus system. There are persons who I'm used to talk to who are staunch PNP. You know, they have the traditional PNP who no matter what, they're not going to vote. And there was a guy who his entire family changed because of this bus system. He has two children. One is moving on to high school this year. And the one in grade 3, he was worried because both he and his wife work. You understand? And he said, boy, I have to go to this bus system. And I'm talking about staunch PNP. And I'm saying, is the trio that you speak about, are they really on the ground listening to the people? I have to ask that question. I don't think they really come on the ground and listen to the people. Because the taxi men, you know, they're happy. I tell you, they're happy that especially the primary school children are out of their way per se. Because one, they complain that, you know, they're charged, they have to charge them half fare and they're counted as one because the police see more than one of them, you know, they will be charged. So if four persons should be in a taxi, as small as they are, it's gonna be 4 of them, right? For half fare, which, for example, for a child, it's $100. For an adult, it's maybe $2 or $2.50. You understand? So it's not worth it for them. You understand?
Got you. Got to leave you there. Thank you very much, ma'am.
All right.
Okay, good. Time for the break.
Here or so ago, that the opposition has become so dunce and dumb they don't even know to think again. And it shows daily, not even weekly now, daily. They have become more dumber and dumber as the days go by. I wouldn't even elaborate on this bus situation. And I wouldn't even elaborate on this lady talking about our war. What I need to ask is, as the party becomes a Bucky Master party, whereas only when the head talk, you can talk?
I don't know. Billboard.
I cannot believe what happened on the other day with Mr. Phillips. And him just can't talk because the booking master get in touch with him and say, don't go on the radio. Where are the original PNPs? Have they also lost their common senses? Where they can call on private meeting and tell them that them getting more backward and backward out here?
Well, I can tell you only what I've been told by some of the comrades who speak to me, is that a number of them are not happy. A number of them are dissatisfied, especially over this latest madness of attacking the rural school bus program. However, they say, this close to an election, better than keep quiet, because they don't want to be held responsible or to be accused that they cost the party the elections. Because if they were to publicly air their concerns, then we in media is going to say the party is divided and split, and that Jamaicans don't vote for parties that are divided. Yeah, which is a reasonable argument. You can understand that. So they're not satisfied, but they're not prepared to go public and say no. They will do so quietly, internally, among themselves, or some of them go as far as to say, I have nothing to say, neither inside or outside.
But they should have some consultation when I'm going to talk, man, because you come out and say one thing, the other person come out and say something different. As a matter of fact, there is somebody saying that there's such a thing as an AR wagon. There's nothing like an AR wagon. Mm-hmm. You understand me?
What is it? What is it, Billboard? You're in the train.
AD wagon. It's a Nissan AD wagon.
Yes.
It's running competition with the Pro Box.
Yes.
The man is so much out of touch with his culture that he don't even know the difference of even the carry him on the ground, yeah? Eh? AR. Wagon. And the last start of it, you know, they need to get them act together because in 1980, 83, something like that, when the opposition had only 9 members of parliament, at least you had opposition. But right now, I don't see none. I don't see no opposition now.
No, man, there's an opposition. You may not agree with it. You may not think they're effective, but there's an opposition.
Well, if they are not effective, what do you start here?
Well, I see in the midday news coming up, the world at noon, a headline here. Dayton Campbell says the PNP's plan to transport rural area students to school will be an expansion of the current program being implemented by the government. Now, that is a big advance over what we heard from his leader and his leader of government opposition business in the Senate, Peter Bunting. So clearly they're recognizing that the heat is on and it is a stupid and politically damaging position to take. So Dayton Campbell, yes, it's in the midday news, says the PNP's plan to transport rural students will be an expansion of the current program being implemented by the government. Yes, them understand, them I get the message. We have to run, Billboard. It's time for the news. See you at 12:30.